Hey data enthusiast, welcome back to Guide Coachings, the go-to channel for all things data-driven. I welcome you to another exciting episode of our Python programming series. Imagine a situation where you have created a class of employee and you have created thousands of employee objects for that particular class. But later, your manager asks you to change certain things when he wants to give hike on the basis of their designation. Now, will you change the logic of the class? If you do so, let me tell you that all your objects of employee class will start throwing an error, and you will not be able to manage that because you don't know how the object is going to be used and where it is going to be used over the period of time, obviously. Okay, how do you efficiently manage and organize this complex web of relationship? Here enters the savior, inheritance. But hold on to tight, because we are not just scratching the surface. We'll deep dive into the core concepts, exploring how inheritance reflects real world hierarchical structures and revolutionize code organization. So grab your coding gear and let's embark on this accelerating journey into the heart of Python's inheritance mechanism. In case you have not subscribed us, please do subscribe. By subscribing, you are not just keeping up with the latest insights, you are joining a family passionate about leveraging for data for success. Okay, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. Okay, by using the thumbnail you already know which topic we are going to talk, and as you can see on the screen, we are going to talk about inheritance. So what is inheritance, how it works, and why it is so important? Okay, so basically inheritance is a concept which is applied into the real world. Okay, it is taken from the real world. First we'll talk about the practicality, and then we'll go for the programming. Okay, so in practical world, in general world, in nature, we have our parents. Okay, and where they we acquire some of the properties, some of the attributes from them. So like we have their we acquire the color, the eyes, the eye color of the eyes, the nose, the pattern of the skin color, everything we derive it from them. So that is considered as a class and we are deriving it, so we called as a subclass or a derived class. So in this tutorial we are going to see about, first we will be seeing about constructors and destructors, how it is used and why it is used. Then we will be seeing about inheritance, which is our ultimate topic. Okay, but before that I just want to keep you informed about how constructors and destructors work, so that it will help us to understand the inheritance topic in a much better way. Now the third thing, we will be talking about base class and derived class. As I mentioned about base and derived, so your parents are your base class and you are a derived class. Okay, now there is a question that, can I create a derived class, can I derive a class from the derived class? Yes, the way you are a child, you can also have a child. That is how the overall structure is. And as you can see on the screen, we have parents and we have a child. So this no parent, these are two classes which properties of which are going to be derived into the child. And most of the time we have heard that, oh, when a new child is born, our relatives comes to them, come closer to the child and then say, oh, the eyes of this child exactly looks like his father, the nose of the child look like exactly his father, the hair of the child look like exactly his father. These kinds of things relatives do. How they say this, it is not taken from the father, but he has adapted it, derived it. So father also have it and the child also have it. It's not like father has given the literal eyes to the son. No, it is not happening. He has deriving the properties, acquiring the certain attributes from his father or his mother. Okay, so that is how inheritance work in real world. Okay, now we will quickly jump onto the practical window. First we will see how constructor works, and then we'll again go back to our inheritance, the main topic, and then we will discuss how and why it is important in your coding. Okay, so first of all, we know how we can define a class. So we'll write class, okay, and then we define it as employee. Okay, employee class, then we put a semicolon over here, and then we write a method that is def, and then we put double underscore in it, and then double underscore, and then we give a self, which is going to be your self parameter. It is a default parameter which is given to every method, whether it is taking a parameter argument or not. The initial parameter would be self, always. Okay, now here what I will do, I will write print, and then I will say constructor is called. Okay, that is how I will be writing it, and then I'll close it, and then I will write one more function, that is destructor. Now this is my constructor. Okay, so what I will do, I will write over here, this is my constructor. Okay, now I will be creating a destructor over here. So destructor, what is destructor? Constructor, what is constructor? Constructor is a method which is called by default whenever an object is created, and destructor is called, it's a garbage collection mechanism which is available in C and Java and other different languages. But here the garbage collection mechanism is already built into 3.x versions of Python, so we don't generally need to write it down. But for the sake of understanding of what is constructor and what is destructor, we are taking this example so that you will be able to understand it, and if the interviewer asks you this question, you should be able to answer this. Okay, so how we are going to define it, we are going to write del. Okay, the same way we will be writing del, then underscore, and then we will be writing self. Okay, then we will put semicolon, and then we will be I'll just making it the most simple answer so that you should be able to destructor destructor. Okay, destructor is called. Now I will be creating an object of this class, so I will be writing emp1, okay, is equals to, we know how we can create an object, so employee, and then I will write like this, and then I will hit enter, and then see this, as soon as I create the object creation. Okay, as soon as I create the object, this is an object of a class that is emp1. Now if I create emp2, again this, just give me a second, once I hit enter and create one more employee, okay, so it will see this, the constructor is called, and now destructor is also called. Why? Because I am using the another variable. Okay, now see, this time if I write over here del delete, I am deleting my emp2. Okay, and if I execute it, one more time, so see, this destructor is called. Okay, now if I delete this, if I just delete it, and I'll keep it like this, and I will keep emp1, and if I execute it, see, at the first we have called the constructor is called, and at the second time the destructor is called. Okay, that is how you are deleting it. So this is how you can create a constructor and delete a destructor. You can call a destructor for garbage collection, so that this memory allocation for this emp1 object has been cleared by the system, by the kernel automatically. Now moving on to our next topic, that is your base class and derived class. What is base class, what is parent class, what is child class? So here imagine a situation, let's talk about the practical situation, the normal situation, the universal condition where you have father and we have father and child relationship. So in inheritance, what happens, I'll just put a hash in inheritance. Okay, inheritance, we have inheritance. So what happens over here, we have class, Okay, then we have a base class, we call it. Then we have block of code. Okay, block of code, whatever we want to write, we can write it over here. And then we have class as child or derived, we called is as derived class. Okay, this is how you will define your class. A block of code, again you will be writing block of code. This is how you will be writing over here. Okay, so this is the structure, overall structure. Just missed one part, that is here you will be putting the parent name. Okay, the way we put our father's name at the end. If you want to remember it like your name and your father's name. That is how you are going to define yourself. Okay, if you are going to introduce yourself, I will say that okay, my name is this, by including my father's name as well, so that the person who is listening to me will get a reference. Okay, this person belongs to this community and he he is related to this person. That is how this works. Now we are going to take one example, whereas I will be defining a class as father, and then over here I will be writing a constructor, that is def double underscore init double underscore, and then here I will be writing self. Okay, and then here what I will be doing, I will be taking his hair. Okay, most of the time we take our father's type of hair, and we take his eyes genes. Okay, genes, so I am just putting hair and eyes. Okay, then I will be declaring it self dot hair is equals to hair the way it is written over here. Okay, hair. Then we will be writing self dot eyes is equals to eyes. Okay, then I will be printing it. Okay, so I'll write print, then I'll format it, and I'll write over here the values. Okay, so I'll just put father has given. Okay, then I will write into the curly brackets self dot hair. Okay, we have acquired it from here, and then we will be writing or like we can put a space, and then we'll be writing like this. Okay, so we have taken this, I will be putting inside the brackets, and then I'll close it, and then I'll complete it. Now this function, this method is defined, this class is defined, the father class is defined. Okay, now I am defining a child class child. Now I will be writing father over here, because child father colon, then we'll go inside it, and then we will be writing. So see this, here I am not putting angular brackets, but here I am putting angular brackets. If you want to put if you want to create a habit of putting it, there is a super class of every class, that is we called as object. Okay, so you can write like this as well, but if you don't want to put, you can just put the name as father as well. Okay, so I have here kept as child father. Okay, then over here I will be defining a function similar to like this, similar to this. I'll be putting like this, I'll just do Control Z, I'll hit enter, and then I'll put it. Okay, once I do it, hair eyes I'll put over here as nose. Okay, so this is my nose. Nose, this boy has, or this child has nose of his own, and he is acquiring his property, his father's properties, that is hairs and eyes. Okay, so here I have child has. Okay, so here child has his own, and I'll put nose over here, nose. Okay, I'll delete this part, I don't want this. Okay, so this is done. Now I will hit enter. I'm out of the class. Now I want here, what I will do, I will call this function as well over here. So I will just copy this, I'll copy it and I'll paste it over here. I'll just hit enter over here, and then I will call it by the name of that particular parent class. So the way we call the functions, the same way we are doing over here. Okay, this is how we are going to do. I will just copy this and we will paste it over here. If you are not able to understand it right now, don't worry, I'll be explaining it later once I am done with the writing part. Okay, so now over here I will be writing as child. I will write c1 is equals to child child. And then I will be writing over here as father's hair. Okay, then I will be writing father's eyes. Then I will be writing child's nose. Okay, nose, that's how I will be writing. Okay, and then if I execute it, print. Okay, what is happening over here? So unexpected, what happened? Unexpected print, unexpected print. Where is print? Yeah, here it is. So this is print. Yeah, print over here, father, and then over here. Yeah, got it. Okay, so see, this is why you need to pay attention to the spaces which are given to the object creation or within inside the declaring the code. While you are writing the code, pay attention to the spaces. Okay, now what is happening over here? So let's decode it from the bottom. So always whenever you are executing it or you are trying to understand something, execute it from the bottom. If you are trying to learn it from the top down, you will not be able to. Always try to do an approach of bottom up. Okay, so here we will take a bottom up approach. What is happening? c1. What is c1? c1 is an object of which class? Class child. Where is child class? Here is child class. Okay, got it. We learned, we understood this. Now what is this? This is your constructor. So as soon as you are defining your variable of, like, you are defining an object of a class, this constructor is created. This constructor is called, as we have seen during the first example, the constructor and destructor. Now if you see over here, this constructor is called, and these values 1 2 3, these are three values which are going to be added over here. Here, self, hair, eyes, sorry, here, this is your child class. So it is working on the basis of this first. So it is going inside this, it is executing this. Okay, it is assigning this value to hair and this value to eyes and this value to nose. Okay, now if these values are assigned, now it is going inside it. So here you can see that nose is assigned to nose, that nose dot self dot nose. We know that self is a mandatory thing which we need to give as a parameter, and to assign a variable value, we need to write down a default variable or default argument, that is self. You can write anything, jelly, fish, anything you can write. Okay, so here now this is defined and this is declared. Okay, so if you see this child nose, child has his own nose, this has been executed first. See the execution order of the execution. So this has been executed first. Now afterward, what happened? We have called another function, another method, that is init. What is init? Init of the parent class. So father dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So this over here I am putting hair and eyes as a two variables. Now this function taking two outputs is going back to the parent class. this is my parent class. Okay, this is my parent class. So if I put a space over here, I will be saying this as my parent class. Okay, this is over here is my child class. Okay, so now by using this, it is going over the parent class, and then it is assigning over here, and then it is executing this line. Father has given, okay, father's hair, father's eyes. Okay, if I delete this, execute it, has given father's hair, father's eye. Child has, okay, child. Okay, this is how we will be getting it. Okay, so this is how you will get the results of parent class and child class. Now this is a general phenomenon. Now how it is going to be so important in your practical life while you are programming. So let's assume you have a class as employee. Okay, employee, and you have defined employee class with def, and then you have double underscore in it, and then double underscore, and then you have written over here self, and then over here you are taking, or else you will be having a human class. Okay, human is the super class of any employee. Okay, so self employee, then every human will have a name, and every human will have an age. Okay, now, and okay, these are the two parameters which we will be taking, and then what we will be doing here, we will be writing the initialization process the way we have initialized it. So I will just copy this, I'll just paste it over here just to save some time. Okay, now I will change this name over here. Okay, and age over here. Okay, so name and age is done. Okay, then I will show this. Okay, so I will show name, I'll put f colon double quotes f, name is, and then I'll put curly brackets, and then I will just copy this, I'll paste it, then I will close this bracket, then I will give age is, then I will put like this, age is, and then I will say self dot age into the curly brackets. Okay, into the curly brackets, and then I will complete the double quotes, and then I will hit enter once I have done this. Or else what I will do, I will create one more function over here as display. Okay, now here I am putting as self. Okay, now this is done, and I will be putting a class as employee. Now see, this is done. Okay, now imagine a situation where you have a human class, where you have his age, his name, his date of birth, his gender, everything you have. But if you want to create, and you have defined that particular human class, or you, let's suppose at the beginning of this tutorial we have talked about employee class. So in the employee class you have created an employee class, and you have his attributes like his employee id, his name, his date of joining, and his salary. Now you are managed, and you have created thousands of the objects the way we have created the object over here. Okay, so this is the way you have created objects for your employee class. Okay, and imagine you are using these objects everywhere inside the program, in a huge program. So if you are going to change a logic in between, these objects are going to malfunction, they are not going to work according to their needs, or they will give an error that the object which has been defined needs some more properties has been added to the base class. So to overcome that, what we are going to use over here, we are going to create a base class or derived class out of it, where the base properties will be as it is, and the added properties, the new functionalities, the way, you know, we have a patch for our existing software. So imagine if software changes the class names and a new class name has been defined, so how they will replace the old class which is already deployed onto the production, it will be difficult to manage. Okay, and it will not be as efficient as it has to be. So to overcome that, we have an inheritance topic where the existing class will be always there, but the new functionalities are added will be into a new class, and then it will connect to the latest bug fix or latest version which is on the system. So that is how you will manage it in the digital world, okay, in the binary world, we can say. So that is why inheritance is also important in your computer, in your programming language. Okay, now we have talked about it. Let's just create one more example which, you know, we were talking over here. So here I will be writing as human. I will be creating a human class over here, then I will be putting a function over here. Okay, so I will just copy it and I will paste it over here. Then once I do, I will name, or I will put employee ID and employee salary over here. Okay, salary, these are my two fields which I want to manage over here. Okay, ID is equals to id salary, copy salary, and here salary. Okay, now this is done, but here I am taking 4 parameters, so I'll just put these two as well. Okay, here it is done. Okay, now this is done. Now what I will do, I will just print it out over here directly. Okay, without creating a function, I'll just put it over here, hit enter, and then I'll write self dot id and then self dot salary. Okay, I will put the salary over here. ID is and salary is. Okay, so here I have created employee object 1, object 2, object 3. Okay, so here I have created 3 objects. So as soon as I have created 3 objects, what will happen, it will not take, first of all, it will ask for the parameters, because here employee table have a constructor which is taking 1 2 3 4 parameters or arguments. So if I execute, I will be getting a error over here. Okay, and display. Okay, so first I will be putting a colon over here. Now if I execute, employees created. Okay, so this is a default one, employees are created, but I don't want just to be created, I just want their name to be added. Okay, so I will add their name. So I will add Russell, his name. Okay, then his name is added, then I will add his age, he is 34-year-old. Then I will add his ID, his ID is 101, and then I will add his salary, that is 50,000. Okay, 50,000, that is how I want to do it. Okay, and then I will delete this too. Okay, I will just copy this and I will paste it 2 more times. Okay, so here I will put 2 and here I will put as 3, obj3, this is my object 3. Okay, Russell, Peter, and then Rambo. Okay, Rambo, here I will put. Okay, if I want to have it 101, 102, and 103. Okay, that is how I will be doing. So this will be 5,000 and this will be 500. Okay, okay, so this is 50,000, now this is 5,000. Okay, 50,000, 5,000, and 500. That is how I have created. Execute here, and okay, so in it takes 1 positional argument, but 5 were given. So here if I see emp, sorry, it is emp not employee, so I'll just put emp, 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 okay, emp, and then I will execute. So see this destructor called employee deleted. Now this destructor is also called and it is deleting the particular element. Okay, now see, this is the object, id is 101, salary is 50,000. Okay, and then id is 102, salary is 5,000, id is 103, salary is this. So this is how you can create your variables, you can create your objects, you can create your classes, you can create your derived classes. Basically it is very simple, you will just have to write it in the correct format. Okay, so let's brush it up quickly how we have done it and what we have done it over here. So we have a constructor and destructor. So as soon as we define a object, a constructor is called, and as soon as we delete it, the delete object will delete that particular destructor, will delete that particular, deleting the object of that particular class. Now this is how you will be defining of inheritance in the coding of Python. And then you will have a class. Okay, so father class will have a definition, he will have a constructor inside it, and then child will also have some properties, then this father will be called over here. Okay, if you want to put over here as object, you can do that as well, object. This method, this class over here is called as a base class, this class over here is called as a derived class. Okay, and we have spoken about the importance of it. Okay, this is how you will be getting executed the results. Okay, and if you want to define a function inside it, you can define a function like this, and you can use the properties of your parent class using this function or this type of code, that is class name dot init, that is the constructor, and then you can give the values and then you will execute it and you will get the results. Okay, I have explained you the topic which I wanted to explain you. Now if you like the video, please subscribe us and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. That's all for today. If you have any questions, any queries, or any doubts regarding the topic which we have covered today, you can write me a comment and we will be discussing it into our next session. Thank you so much. And we are going to see some more examples around it. So stay tuned and follow for more.